Something strange is happening in NASCAR right now. Drivers in the garage are starting to notice one name more and more: Shane van Gisbergen. For a long time, people said the same thing about him. He's only good on road courses. And for a while, that seemed true. But lately, something about that story isn't adding up anymore. Because over the last few races, something about Shane van Gisbergen's performance has started to change. Drivers are beginning to notice it. Analysts are starting to talk about it. And now the garage is asking one serious question. What exactly is happening with Shane van Gisbergen right now? Before we break this down, make sure you subscribe to NASCAR Nation News and hit the bell so you never miss the biggest NASCAR stories, drama, and breaking news. We're also trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so if you enjoy this content, help us get there by subscribing and being part of the journey. Now let's talk about why the garage is suddenly watching Shane van Gisbergen very closely. Let's rewind just a few weeks. 7 races into the 2026 season, Shane van Gisbergen was sitting 14th in the NASCAR Cup standings. That may not sound crazy at first, but when you look closer, it's actually very impressive. Because just 1 year ago, oval tracks were a huge problem for him, and everyone knew it. But now, things are changing fast. At the start of the season, things looked great. SVG finished second at Circuit of the Americas, showing again that he's one of the best road course drivers in the world. The garage already respected him on those tracks. But then came Las Vegas, and everything went wrong. SVG qualified 16th. Not bad, but on lap 1, he made a small mistake. The car slid down onto the apron. The front splitter got damaged. From that moment on, his car handled terribly. He fought the car all day long, and in the end, he finished dead last. Just like that, he dropped from 5th in points to 16th. For many drivers, a race like that would mess with their confidence, but SVG didn't panic. Instead, he used it as motivation. Next stop was Darlington Raceway. And if you know NASCAR, you know Darlington is not an easy place. They call it the Lady in Black, because this track punishes mistakes hard. And SVG's past results there weren't great either. His previous finishes were 26th, 20th, and 32nd. Nothing special. Then qualifying happened. SVG started 33rd, almost dead last. At that moment, nobody expected much. But SVG had a different plan. When the race started, he didn't try anything crazy. He stayed calm. Lap after lap, he slowly moved forward. Then on lap 111, chaos hit. Denny Hamlin crashed into another car and brought out a caution. SVG was in the perfect position. He got the lucky dog free pass and returned to the lead lap. That moment changed everything. By the end of stage 1, he was already moving up the field, still not near the front, but the progress was clear. Then stage 2 started, and suddenly, the car looked much better. SVG finished the stage in 15th place. Now people were starting to notice. Later in the race, another crash brought out a yellow flag, and that's when Trackhouse Racing made a bold decision. Instead of pitting, they stayed out. That move suddenly pushed SVG into 4th place for the restart. Think about that for a second. He started the race 33rd. Now he was fighting inside the top 5. That's not luck, that's smart strategy and strong driving. In the final laps, SVG dropped back a little. The team played it safe with tires. They weren't chasing a risky win, they wanted solid points. In the end, SVG crossed the line 14th. Not a podium, but the message was clear. He is learning fast. To really understand why this matters, you have to look at his journey. Before NASCAR, SVG was already a superstar in racing. He won 3 championships in Australian supercars. He had 80 race wins. He even won the famous Bathurst 1003 times. But the moment that shocked the world came in 2023. That year, NASCAR raced a street course in Chicago for the first time. SVG entered the race as a guest driver, and somehow he won. In his first ever NASCAR Cup start, that hadn't happened since 1963. The entire motorsports world went crazy. Suddenly everyone was talking about Shane van Gisbergen. But when he joined NASCAR full-time, reality hit. Road courses? No problem. But ovals? That was a different story. In 2025, his first oval finishes were rough. 31st at Phoenix, 34th at Las Vegas, 32nd at Homestead. He struggled with traffic. He struggled with the banking. He even admitted the truth himself. He said the driver was the problem. That's not easy for any racer to say, but SVG stayed honest, and he kept learning. Slowly, things began to change. Later in 2025, he started getting better. He scored his first oval top 10 finish at Kansas. Then more solid runs came. Drivers in the garage started noticing. Now in 2026, the progress is even clearer. At Atlanta, SVG finished 6th. At Phoenix, he recovered from 2 spins to finish 11th. At Martinsville, he started 5th and ran in the top 10 most of the race. That kind of improvement is not normal. Most drivers take years to learn NASCAR ovals. SVG is doing it in months. And when other drivers start talking about you, that means something. Denny Hamlin said the trend is obvious. SVG keeps getting better. Chase Elliott said SVG has a natural feel for the car. Christopher Bell said it won't be long before he's a serious factor on ovals. Even 3-time champion Joey Logano gave him credit. That's a lot of respect from the garage. And respect in NASCAR usually means one thing. Drivers are paying attention. Here's the real reason people are watching SVG. He's not just improving slowly, he's jumping levels. 1 year ago, he finished 32nd at Darlington. This year, 14th. That's a massive leap. And remember, he's already elite on road courses. If he becomes strong on ovals too, then the rest of the field has a real problem, because that's when championships become possible. Right now, SVG is still learning. He even says himself that he's not ready to win on ovals yet. But the numbers say something different. The advanced NASCAR stats show his performance is improving on short tracks, drafting tracks, and regular ovals. Step by step, race by race. And if this trend continues, by the end of 2026, SVG could be a consistent top 10 driver. By 2027, he might be fighting for playoff wins. And after that, a championship might not sound so crazy anymore. But here's another thing many people inside NASCAR are starting to realize about Shane van Gisbergen. He's not learning slowly like most rookies. He studies everything, every lap, every mistake, every setup change. After races, SVG spends hours looking at data with his team. He asks questions. He wants to know exactly why the car behaved a certain way. That mindset is dangerous, because when a driver with his natural talent starts understanding NASCAR this quickly, improvement can come very fast. And that's exactly why more drivers in the garage are starting to pay attention. Not because of what SVG is today, but because of what he might become very soon. So the big question now is simple. Shane van Gisbergen came to NASCAR as a road course specialist. But what happens if he becomes great everywhere? Because if that happens, the rest of the NASCAR grid might have a serious problem. And judging by the way drivers are talking right now, some of them may already be worried.